afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Site, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on La Gleize. Between the south, we got here Luciano fighting for the Soviet Union, socialism. The 3rd Guards tank corps versus the north, we got Unknown Legend fighting for the Oberkommando Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the road here with the 5th SS Panzer Division Wiking. And he's got here Scavenge, Special Operations and Fortification with Triple Infantry versus Counter-Attack, Lend-Lease and Advanced Warfare with Triple Infantry for Luciano. Luciano hereby aiming for double conscript start. No penal troopers for him, just pure conscripts. With double full script start here for Unknown Legend. No Kubelwagens and also more conservative Sturm Pioneer play. Unknown Legend might be an unknown legend, but he's certainly not going to cross into unknown territory that fast. Sandbags, barbed wire here, both players looking to solidify the holes on the battlefield in one way or the other. Luciano so far certainly the one who's playing it more aggressively here. Willing is looking to just basically make the centre of the map here very unpleasant for Unknown Legend to attack into and try and hold. Barbed wire here, denied cover there by the fuel point. Conscript here pushing out, also allows Luciano to just play more aggressively since he can just push out more infantry on the field though. Again versus the Oberkommanders, less so, though even then with conscripts being slightly cheaper, he can still get out some faster than the opponent get out full grenadiers. Almost on wiring off there, he probably should have gone from that end towards the other one since that's less important compared to here. But there you go, conscript full are going to be clashing, full should be able to make it into the house here. He runs and makes it right in front of the full grenadiers there. A close call here, but Luciano was able to pull off there versus Unknown Legend's full grenadiers. Fighting continues here, Fultz is pulling away. They're going to rush into the house with already low health. There we go, lost one man. Sturm pass gets finished, more barbed wire there. Both players very keen on the wire work. With a second Sturm Pioneer squad on the way there for Unknown Legend. On the closer quarter map like this can work out here against Luciano, particularly since he's gone for a lot of conscripts, which the Sturm Pioneers will perform a bit better versus against he had gone for a lot of penal troopers. So Luciano there with the 4th conscript squad on the way there versus all of these full grenadiers. Points being secured left and right. And he's looking to fall back to seize territory elsewhere. May, I think, better work division there for Luciano. Better to have them, be used elsewhere. Can maybe sort of gain some more resources or deny Unknown Legend resources. 4th unit there arriving. Points there being secured. Almost got the victory point as well. The Sturm Pioneers moving in to sort of support here. The full is around the centre. Put some pressure on Luciano and his Russian infantry. He also got a mindful squad out here for his freshly arriving Sturm Pioneers, partly to cut through barbed wire, but of course also going to be handy versus any mines here. The engage should be won here by the Sturm Pioneer and the full is simply because they can just far better. The conscript, they've got a second squad joining in, but the heavy cavalry should somewhat assist. Plus the range here might be slightly more favourable to the Sturm Pioneers than to the conscripts. A bit more difficult to tell. Oh dear. Luciano here caught in a bit of a nasty engagement. There we go, forced to fall back with 2 conscript squads. Sturm Pioneers suffering only 1 loss, the full suffering no. So bit of a turnaround here. Unknown Legend finding a much more favourable engagement and now wiring off here. Both players again very, very keen on the barbed wire. Full versus conscript over here, heavy cover versus no cover. That should be a win for the conscripts unless RNG goes bananas. And we got a 3rd full squad out there for Unknown Legends who's going heavy in the infantry, though similarly as Luciano's going down here for advanced warfare, opening up for some synergy there between the heavy conscripts, of course, opening up for some T-35s down the road. It's a rarely seen doctrine, but it's actually a pretty good one since it offers you just reward for heavy conscript play, but also good tanks, radio intercept, and the R2 Sturmovik strafe there, which is also pretty good. Sort of use the right circumstances. Well, decent maybe, not pretty good. Decent, I think. Decent. I think pretty good might be overselling it there a bit. Truck out here for Unknown Legend. Considering his build, it would certainly seem more likely to go for Battle Group Headquarters. They could still go for the looks. The looks will not be bad either, but just considering all the infantry he has, you'd figure it more likely he's aiming for Battle Group Headquarters to provide medics for it. Sturm Pioneers, they need to fall back. They're all getting low on health. We got a lot of Russians pushing up this. Luciano just charges ahead. And you've had a force down the road. Be a pretty good investment there for Unknown Legend. There you go. Battle Group Headquarters. Fighting here in the West Fulton versus the conscripts. Furthermore, the question is, when is Luciano teching out there? I mean, he's going to need, I think, some support weapons because Unknown Legion's also gone for heavy support, so Maxims and Mortars could prove to be quite good investments there for Luciano. In the meanwhile, he also needs to be careful not to get bogged down too much in the centre there. We obviously know he suffered some pretty unfortunate setbacks as an Unknown Legend, so he should rather consider trying to play around the map rather than trying to play into the centre of it. But we'll see. Anyways, Battlegroup headquarters almost done. Troops running out. MG34 could be immediately acquired here. He could also theoretically aim for a flat half track, but at least he's first going for an MG34. Additional engineers for Luciano, possibly for a second flamethrower. I mean, again, if Unknown Legend's going to focus around heavily around the centre, flamethrowers would be a pretty good investment. More flames would be a pretty good investment. But there you go. We got a big push here into the west from Unknown Legend, forming up a battle group there of 2 Volkskunde Sturmpioniere, able to lay down a lot of firepower, breach the west and secure it. Meanwhile, feeding a bit more troops in the centre, though he might resume getting overwhelmed here. We got a flank here from Luciano going around there. Small chance of catching the Sturmpioneers from retreat and wiping them. With the MD34, they're finally arriving for Unknown Legend. So Luciano here, looking for some more deft play versus Unknown Legend. So far seems succeeding here. Need to retreat the Sturmpioneers squad immediately. The Volkskunde will also have to fall back pretty soon. But there we go. I was about to say he's going to stick around longer, which would be the poor choice there. But he retreats. And Brandhand going off to assist. MD34 setting up. Need to focus on the engineers. In the west here, continue grabbing. He actually didn't try to deal with the conscripts first. What, he retreats there as well. Curious. Seems like Unknown Legend might have made a misclick or some orders went awry. I'm not entirely sure there, but that could easily have been dealt with there. So this could actually overall turn into engagement in favour of Luciano here in the west with just a single conscript squad, because Unknown Legend split up very fast and then accidentally retreated the Sturmpioneers. I'm guessing it was an accident. I could be wrong now. I could be wrong. It might have been intentional. Medics on the way. They're troop reinforcing. They're definitely going to need healing. Particularly that Sturmpioneer squad was low on health, and that could have been the reason he retreated there. That could very well have been a reason he retreated. Still, he's denying Luciano there. Precious fuel. Very good decision there. And we got here the support weapon company. Apparently hadn't finished it. And the tank grenades on the way. He is anticipating vehicles there from Unknown Legend, but that is not what Unknown Legend is playing at. Not here with the 5th SS Panzer Division Wiking, initially sort of largely made out of Scandinavian volunteers. Even then, there was a large influx of other Germans and, well, ethnic Germans, because there were never that many Scandinavian volunteers. I mean, I think from overall, like, total, there was like a few thousand Norwegians and Danes, and the Danes actually made up the larger part. They sort of made through it there. Even more fun, in fact, most of the Norwegians preferred fighting in Finland and sort of ski battalions and the likes, and SS police battalions up there in Finland, as a fun fact. So even then, the large majority there, for example, on the front line would have been Danes across the rest of the eastern front there in the, well, Viking, and later on the Nordland as troops were being transferred over there. And the 5th SS was increasingly made more of a Germanic division. Mortar on the way there for Luciano. Not a bad choice there, but the mortar's going to help a bit. Could lay down smoke screens. Interesting to note here, not a lot of assault rifles here for Unknown Legend. In fact, there seems to be a bit of a drop off amongst the Oberkommando S players I'm seeing here going for assault rifles at all. They seem to perhaps be a bit less keen on them, or they might be using the munitions on something else. He's going for a light infantry gun to provide artillery, maybe expecting a mortar, just having to deal with Luciano's Stargate elements. An argument could be made for another MD34 demo charge on the doorstep of the church. Call it a present! Yes! Yes. Militant atheism in action. Comes to this current western victory point. Folks are moving up here. Going for the mortar, which is already taking a bit of damage. And a Brandhand grenade off, though a bit too late there. Still, Unknown Legend maintain good map control here. The lightest infantry shoots being hauled forwards by German infantry. Forces moving eastwards. Got a conscript squad they're staying about. Luciano Bally can now consider going for some submachine guns on his conscripts. In particular, some upgraded forces, because that would be pretty good. Plus, I mean, on this map here, the submachine guns would also be pretty good. So, I mean, there's a lot of incentive here for Luciano to at least go for a few submachine guns on his conscripts there with the PPSH-41s. Tank battalion command almost done. Cutting off there the fuel. Clever. Tactical movement there by Unknown Legend. Very solid. Though right now, I don't know the problem. He's now been cut off from most of his fuel. He's also gone for second truck. I'm assuming he's planning Air Force Rear Painted Quarters and Mechanized Regiment feels like a weak choice by Unknown Legend. I have seen some players go for it nonetheless. But I definitely recommend something a bit different. Oh, demo charge spotted. He just needs to attack there and blow it apart. And the church is down. Sandbags here, a different type of obstacle. Can be crossbent for the cross-specific order, plus they can't retreat through it. And obviously they can't cut the sandbags. So that's an alternate way of just blocking a pathway. Oh, need to retreat the MD-34, close to losing it. And barely escapes there. Looks like he is sitting for the Schwer Panzer Quarters, just lacking the fuel there. Positively anticipate the aggressive harassment from Luciano there up the eastern side. I mean, overall, both players are displaying some good fluid control of the map. And just, you know, not getting caught up. I mean, to an extent, they like to put in resource in the center. They want to control it, but they're not overly focused on it. They're not just bleeding themselves dry on the center. They're quite keen on just also hitting their opponent's resources. So, in that regard, both players here clearly, you know, sharp, attentive players with a good tactical mind. I just have to question the use of a light infantry gun here, since there's a lot of conscripts that's less amazing, and as you can see, that so far it's really done not much good. That compared to the Russian mortar, has already gotten 1 kill. So, you know, I don't know. Light infantry gun always is a bit more a questionable choice, in my opinion. I mean, once it gets smoke, it's only going to be a more useful choice, but until then, yeah. I definitely think he would benefit more from another MG-34 to help keep some of all of Luciano's troops in check. But we do have one submachine wielding squad here. Bit of artillery fire here and there, also taking losses from the mortar. Grabbing the eastern victory point away here from Unknown Legend. A bit behind Unknown Legend in terms of the victory points. Schwer Panzer Quarters up here to defend the area around the fuel point. They won't be able to directly cover it. We also got fortifications here from Unknown Legend. Not necessarily a huge fan of that choice, but not necessarily a bad one either. We'll have to see how next use it. He could use it for machine gun bunkers. S-March would also be a pretty good choice here versus Luciano. And of course also the option of artillery and Pack 43s. And when they've, you know, buffed the flat emplacement, that could also be pretty handy. I mean, the new flat emplacement in the December balance preview is actually kind of good. So I mean, that one, you know, might down the road, you know, then make both Luftwaffe and fortifications more attractive just because of that. And if you're dealing with conscripts there, trying to push up. But so far, Luciano just using his conscripts aggressively is getting large control of the map here. Unknown Legend is a bit struggling with it again. The light infantry gun is just not halting it. And he would really have been off for the second MD-34 to just stall it. He might want to consider some orbital darting, as you know they would deal with the conscripts in a nice head-on fashion. Nice demo charge there by Luciano. Well, nice and nice, but obviously nice sighting. But you know, on a more personal level, you know, there's no such thing as a nice demo charge. That's like, you know, a nice bubonic plague. Yeah. Mines here. Good use of his opponent's terrain features there. Mining up here as well. Good work there with both players. Take over there for Luciano. He's going to be able to get out of tank firstly before Unknown Legend. He has been able to control the fuel points a bit better than Unknown Legend. That's definitely going to pay off for him. I mean, he can easily go for a T-35. Of course, the T-34 from 6 would just have a more immediate shock effect. Could put some serious manpower pressure on Unknown Legend, but actually could risk stalling a tank. But at the same time, the T-35 just, you know, is overall more durable, and thus, you know, has more long-term applications and just harder to lose. So the T-35 certainly also has its value. So it really is going to come down to a part there in terms of the taste for Luciano there. Mortar there, Veterans U1. MD-34 watching over here. Probably recommend him actually keep using it to support the full going to do is better. Just set it up here. That way cover the advance, and you set up a defensive zone there. All the way back here, it really serves no purpose. This just feels a bit lazy by Unknown Legend. Like, he guards it, but he doesn't want to use it. I mean, overall German doctrine also emphasised the heavy machine gun support in the infantry during attacking. So, you know, I mean, it would overall benefit him more just, you know, getting to fit German doctrine, have it support his infantry to more on the fuel point. Would also make it hard for his opponent to get it back. So, again, this is a pretty poor choice there for the MG34 to set up. Guard orbs on the way though, that's definitely good. And again, now you can see we've got a counter-attack in, and the MG34 could have broken this up, could have mobilized some time to get the fuel point, even hold it, but because his MG34 is, you know, warming itself up there, his folks going to left to their own devices are going to get completely swarmed. So, you know, not the best positioning. Bit of skirmishing on the right side. Obersoldaten, oh, he's in repairing it. Apparently took some damage from an immortal fire. Got some hardened Obersoldaten up there. Obersoldat was a rank, so they're just, I think, slightly above regular infantrymen. Get the LMG-34 on the way there. There you go, MG-34 defending the victory point, but of course the Arctic Committee would rather than, you know, defending the fuel point. Plus, you know, essentially solidifying the front line a bit closer to his opponent's base, putting some pressure on him that way. Lines began firing, Orbison moving in, almost got the LMG-34 ready. A lot of mines here, Luciano's been doing quite a good work there, just making the centre of the map a bit of a bastard. And he just immediately retreats here. Unknown Legend, not quite confident in his Obersoldaten's fighting capabilities on their own. And Luciano there is about to be able to go for a T-35 and begin really hitting Unknown Legend, who is still some time off from a Yak Panzer or Panzer IV. There you go, T-35, they're ready for Luciano and the 3rd Guards Tank Corps, and there you go, mobilized for the motherland. Demo charge, mine spotted, but he probably doesn't quite notice that because of, you know, the way the house blocks his line of sight there. Big push in here, Fult's going to do a Sturmpioniere. Hey, mortar, oh, regular mortar pushed away, not a heavy mortar there. Fighting in these forces versus engineers, running into heavy cavalry, which only makes it easier for the engineers to deal with them. Not the most tactically best move. And T-35, they're almost done. Fort Luciano. There we go, mobilized for the motherland. Line for flying down the engineers, conscripts push back. He's taking minor hits. Shoots, opens up in the house. There doesn't make much of a dent there, but still, it's going to be a threat there to Unknown Legend's Volksgrenadiers. And he's only got a single academy to stop this T-35. He's going for a Pak 43. I mean, that's certainly going to be able to put a dent into the tank, though. What a big one. Meanwhile, though, Luciano's tank is just hammering away at the fascists. Just aim for the rough centre of their mass, Petrov. The high explosive rounds will do the rest. Grab the eastern victory point. Pit points harassment up north. Pak 43 halfway done. Half conscripts to upgrade with the submachine guns. Almost got that Pak 43 ready here for Unknown Legend. And there we go. Pak 43 are ready to fight the enemies of the motherland. Fatherland. Wrong land. Big push into here. The Luciano conscripts and just barreling forwards. MG-34 remains a bit removed from the rest. T-34 moving up here. Hitting a mine though. And Pak 43 turns about, shoots. Good hit there on the T-35. Can he get beyond the range there? Just barely does so. Mine spotted here by Unknown Legends Sturmpioniere. Comes there, fighting versus Obersoldaten at range. The Obersoldaten will definitely have the advantage. In the west, the MG-34 about to get attacked here. Got Flame Fringes moving up. Need to send out deal with them. We got a strafing run going in somewhere. Okay, here in the east. Crashes into a house. Well, what remained of the house. MG-34 push back, being behind on the Sturmpioniere squad to deal with the engineers. Halfway to veteran the free in the centre, conscripts making good gains. And the T-35 is desperately just trying to get away before it gets hunted down. Field gun nearby in case it gets rushed by a tank, though unrelated so far as yet to unleash any tanks on him. The Kenworth on the move there. Could perhaps be a bit faster. There's a chance here the T-35 actually now managed to escape, though considering the path here, there's a chance it's able to set up in time. Conscript rushing in, there you go. Forces away the Kenworth for saving the T-35. And all of a sudden they're getting spotted here or rushed by the conscripts. He was too focused on the field gun, and now the conscript up close. The opposite will need to retreat. Oh dear, he got the field gun crew, but without being able to destroy it or seize it, it's not going to matter much. It's a bit of unfortunate prioritization there by Unknown Legend, who I think is actually aiming for a Panther here with the T-35s out there. He probably wants something that's sort of taken on with a slightly bigger advantage than the Panzer IV, which is not a bad idea at all. Mines down there, good spot. Got this as 3, recruit once more. Mondian's running, can of course also use his conscript repair thanks to the conscript repair kits. He's going for a Katyusha, probably to help deal with the pack for the of course just try and blast up any Unknown Legends infantry. Also gone for a Maxim, so a bit of support and firepower to help contain the infantry, probably also help with the orbital garden. And field gun wiped again. He could recruit, but he could also, of course, just salvage it. I imagine here that Unknown Legend is just going to salvage it, and they're going to go for the Panther. He can go for the Panther. I mean, if he's planning for the King Tiger, having to have to scrum is a bit silly, but there you go. Panther on the way there for Unknown Legend, and poof. 5 fuel there. Seems like he's forgotten a bit of his MD-34. Oh, there's all the way over there. T-35 strikes in the east once more. 5 kills there for the motherland. 4 kills. Only 2 kills. It's a bit more aggressively here. It's also actually 2. Is he trying to destroy the Schwerpanzer Corps of the Pack 43 with that mortar? Because the Schwerpanzer Corps seems a bit ambitious trying to destroy the mortar, to be honest. He would have better luck just trying to silence. Oh, there you go, Katyusha fire. House is taking up most of the hits. There would have been a good combination for the mortar to hit that and then rush it with a tank before it gets recruited and take it out. So that didn't quite work out there for Luciano. And there we go, Panther out for Unknown Legend. And the 5th SS, grabbing points here. Conscript center being bombarded here by orbital down from inside the house. And assault here by conscripts, forced away. Panther moving ahead, supported by a Volksgunner escort and a Sturmpioneer escort. Pendulum machine would be a very good choice there for the Panther as well. Egg engineers forced away. Conscripts there being slowly shredded, taking too much damage out in the open. Sending in his T-35. Not entirely sure that's the best choice for the Pack 43 by and the Panther. And there we go, Luciano reverses the tank to get it out of there, realizing that was in fact not the tactically most sound move. Going for a replacement field gun, having obviously lost the previous one to the Germans. Bouncing heavy fire from the machine guns. And straight into mine, damaging the end of the Panther. Bit of a problem there. Could also damage a bit extra there with the anti-tank grenades. They won't be able to finish it off there. Most of the best you can do is basically just delay its return to the battlefield by making, the Sturmpioneers spend more time repairing it. But of course, with 2 Sturmpioneer squads, both the veterancy and the support package, that Panther's not going to stay damaged for long. Troops in reinforcing, Katyusha moving out there for Luciano. 2 kills so far. Luciano's maintaining good control of the map, though he is suffering a bit in the victory points versus Unknown Legends. T-34 falling back, Volksgunner also moving up. Sturmpioneers laying down mines, going to make it harder there for Luciano to operate his T-35 aggressively. And there you go, Panther back in action. Push in the centre, but lacking any serious anti-tank support, though it's not going to work out too well. And of course the T-34 has to be careful about attacking into it. The Pack 43 is nearby, in this case there's also a Kennenwerfer, increasing the amount of problems for the T-35. Pictures rockets supporting, trying to catch the Kennenwerfer, but the houses in this case provide ample cover for the Kennenwerfer and allows it to safely escape, so that ended up not working out too well there for Luciano. That did not work out too well. Legend, I think, could try and put more pressure. Could also consider launching a larger assault than Luciano. I mean, he's sort of more increasingly just focusing on the centre. This could risk sending him into an attritional state here, which is not where exactly the Oberkommando does the best. Field gun shoots and majestically misses the Panther, though. Second shot hits, but fails to penetrate. The 80mm of sloped armour, we got flares down here. Try to get an idea what's going on there, or maybe a flare mine went off. Either way, a flare is there. Pushing up the east side, and unknown Legend return the field, pushing up the west side. So again, both players now focusing less on the centre, but they're still focusing on it. Eventually feeling that mortar. Telephone on it. MD for the open on the conscripts. Panther joining in. Though with an exposed rear, though, of course the conscript being suppressed means they can't really push in at all anyways. Ooh, Molotov. And pinned down before they could pop it. Sturm plans in the centre will be wiped out. T-35 dealing with the German infantry in the west, where the Pack 43 is not readily available to actually put a stop to the T-35. Now then the focus guns in the east, we got more pressure from Luciano at the Panther, but with the MD-34 supporting, it's still going to be a problem. He needs to flank up behind the MD-34 to transport deal with it. As for Unknown Legend, he needs to sort of consider a different plan. He needs to get more aggressive offense. He needs to try and outmaneuver Luciano and deal with him that way, because I mean he's just sort of maintaining a status quo, which is not really where the Oberkommando best sort of excels. Plus, it's currently not favourable to him either. I mean, he can soon go for a Panzer IV to then support the Panther, in which case you try and push. As for Luciano, he can soon go for another T-35, which would definitely not be a bad choice either. As for Luciano, I'd probably recommend a plan for just destroying it. I mean, one option would be a smoke screen, that way blocking the line outside most units, rushing and taking out. Meanwhile, Unknown Legend setting up for just further attritional fighting here with a howitzer that might just give him the edge he needs. But even then, again, it's not territory where the Oberkommando does like amazingly well. We shall see if the howitzer turn things around here. We got opposite side filters moving in against the conscript of Baldeladnum. They need to have this move into it, and there you go. Nice dodge there by Luciano for retreating. T-35 taking hits there from the Kennenwerfer, possibly in the Pack 43. There we go, virtually two. T-35 down to almost half health. And the howitzer is ready. Like to feel how beats here. All of a sudden, unfortunately, at least on side, we got constant T-35 dealing with, at least attempting to. It should be fine for Luciano to help deal with the Panther, possibly any other armor that might arrive from Unknown Legend. It was almost at full pop cap, which could indicate he might just go for a mechanized regiment and then try and set up for a King Tiger. We'll see. Another hit there. This time, though, from artillery in an attempt here by Unknown Legend to break up Luciano's centre. Katyusha firing back. Oh, got the Pack 43. Of course, the question is, does he realise he got it, and will he be able to take advantage of it? Because if he can't, it's not going to matter much he cleared it. Except he cleared out some of its veterans. The thing is, the Pack 43 can easily and readily regain it. So many houses now collapsing. Got the issue far out here for Luciano. Rushing the Panther without the infantry support seems pretty hazardous there by Unknown Legend. I mean, I can understand what he's trying to do, but just that infantry support is going to have very limited impact, and particularly when he then runs into an anti-tank front there by Luciano with his tank-strong field gun. So far, though, he's yet to recruit the pack for it. Looks like got the Sturmpanzer about to recruit that Panzer out their Kanone. Oh no, they're going to move to fix up the Panther. No, sounds like another barrage there being fired. We got air support called in T-14 with folks from the east, and another strike in the centre, catching in the forcing it off the field. And there we go. Whatever respite was bought for Luciano's tanks has now ended as the Pack 43 is back in action. Setting up for another push here, maybe something big, and they try to catch the Pack 43 off guard and destroy it. We'll have to see what exactly it is here Luciano's planning. Versus Unknown Legend. He's going for a second Katyusha. He probably wants to really silence that Pack 43 and now aiming for a bigger barrage. Another's bombarding the centre here, trying to catch up Unknown Legend's infantry. Jürgen dies there in service of this fast line. The Panther, though, ignores the rockets. Field gun taking loss there from the howitzer. 8 kills, 10 kills. A lot more accurate, obviously. But then rocket weapons were never designed for accuracy. They're designed for saturating large areas with rockets and murdering anything that way. Might not want to park your tank destroyer and infantry in the same area the howitzer is bombarding. Are you sure this is safe, Petrov? Don't worry, the Germans can't hit anything. Ignore Boris. He made himself a target. He was asking for it. Panther then down to half health, having encountered the T-35 Nation 5. T-35 gaining veterans to 2. Katyusha there goes, second Katyusha unleashing hell. Not entirely sure what he's aiming at there, but he seems to have forgotten about the houses. They're able to absorb a lot of the fire, so that Katyusha barrage ended up being rather wasted there by Luciano. His first Katyusha is almost good to go. Once more. Unlegend Wallace is full top cap, but at the same time also trying to maintain any map control. He's being too passive. He's not trying to rely on his maneuver to destroy his opponent. He's also getting a lot of resources. You definitely think at this point just consider mechanized wrecking, then try it out for King Tiger long term. But you should also just seek to overwhelm his opponent, because right now he's just finding a state of fighting that's not helping. I mean, his opponent's getting most of the victory points, most of the resources, and Unknown Legend can't really maintain this for much longer. Counterattack tactics to try and catch Katyushas. I mean, unless Luciano doesn't move his Katyushas at all, I don't think it's going to work out too well. Does in this case allow him to get the mortar there. Forgot about that one actually. Fronts are being suppressed. More Katyusha fire. This time around the Schwer Panzer headquarters. Panther moving in here. And we got the T-35 moving in there. Pack 43 still at the ready here to try and deal with any Russian tanks, but he's staying at a safe distance. They're probably having ascertained to the reasonable range of the Pack 43. Unknown Legend remains on the defensive here with the 5th SS. Moving across on no man's land against the Russians, the folks are definitely having a rough time. But there you go, Panther moving in, shoots at the HV5, prioritising that one, definitely not a bad choice, but lost Torture Squad. They did get a Counter Squad, damaged engine on the Panther, close to efficiency 2. That'd be pretty good if you can get it there. Big push into the centre here. We got the MD foothold guarding it, but it is also very close to death. More engineers for Luciano to help repair his things. And unknown legends just floating resources here. And in the end, it's like he's completely forgot about the west side of the map. Decent hit there from whatever was to hit the conscripts. Probably the light infantry gun. Got veteran 3 there. Seems to have been picking up its pace a bit there. Maybe some good barrages. And artillery fire here. Once more trying to silence something. Getting the mortar. Yeah, some decent hits there, but still quite not killing it. More Katyusha fire again, trying to destroy that spare punted quarters. Almost there though. Almost there. But he really needs to push into the rest. He needs to force Luciano out there. He needs to look and destroy him from another angle, because again, these sort of head-on confrontations with Luciano is not helping Unknown Legend. They are not benefiting Unknown Legend. They're just not getting him anywhere. And the pack for the fleet is all starting to look like a not very good investment. I mean, he can't seriously sort of cover the victory points versus an infantry. It's just blocking up pop cap, so. There you go, wiped an engineer squad though. Panther moving ahead. But in the Panther's not being used particularly aggressive. But he's going to set up for the mechanized rank, in which case he can consider going for King Tiger. The problem is, again, that requires him losing enough troops for it, in which case, again, he might as well just get aggressive. He's trying to make some gains and then follow up with the King Tiger. Laying down S-mines, took him long enough. Spare punted quarters almost down. All of a sudden, trying to booby trap the center victory point, getting destroyed instead. That was certainly wasteful there by Unknown Legend. That was very wasteful. MD for the whole getting into 4, not bad. Pushing back the conscripts there. Well, it shouldn't be too far off now, actually, from a King Tiger. I definitely wouldn't recommend wasting an orbital dart squad just for that. T-Fed from moving in, going straight for the Fox, shooting, and wipes them by destroying the S-Man feather in there. Very good work by Luciano. Highlights the dangers of running about in your own S-Man fields versus tanks. So that's another big loss. I mean, he's very close to the King Tiger now, but the problem is now there's going to be very little for it to work with, because again, the support weapons, again, I mean, he went for both the Pack 43 and Howitzer, are not going to be the most amazing support for it. I mean, he's barely getting infantry, his Panther's there, but that's about it. And that's going to need some repairs. He's only got one Steel Pioneer squad, so things are starting to look pretty ugly here for Unknown Legend. I mean, his passive defensive play, even with the doctrine meant to work with it, is not the sort of best route for the Oberkommando West. I mean, the Pack 43, though, it particularly just feels not very effective for that. Just going to have to fix up the Panther as a priority here. I'll try and cross-rank with King Tiger, and there you go. Spare punted quarters down. I don't think he particularly cares at this moment. He just wants the King Tiger, the Koenigs Tiger. Of course, with this mindset, will he actually be able to utilize it fully and effectively versus Luciano, who's bringing up a second tank destroyer? I imagine seeing through Unknown Legend's plans here, reading him like an open book. Second issue to fire out there. Keep them moving in, halfway to it in the fleet, pretty good. We got a strafing around there, and the Germans in the set by the road here. Taking some damage there, almost got a cannon effort. Oh, he lost the T-foot of half there, that's rather tragic. But of course, that's what happens when you charge straight into the Pack 43. Apparently, he forgot about it being a crude, I don't know. Also, he lost both of his Katyushas at some point. Down here. I wonder. Yeah, they got destroyed by the Howitzer. Apparently wasn't paying attention to the counter barrage ability. Just parked them right next to each other, lined the goddamn Howitzer to take both of them out. Now he's charging his Panther. Now he's getting aggressive. But at this point, now Unknown Legend's getting really reckless. Again, where's the support for the Panther? Where's the infantry? Hell, where's the King Tiger? There isn't any. He's just sending in the Panther blindly. He could have hit a minefield right there. He wouldn't know until it's too late. And there goes, almost lost his Panther. And did he even get one of the tank destroyers? He did not. That was pretty foolish. Direct hit from the howitzer on the field gun. Almost got the mortar as well there. King Tiger, they're mobilized here for Unknown Legend and the 5th SS. Panther's going to need desperate repairs. Seaford on the weather for Luciano. He's going to have to stop this King Tiger with his 2 tank destroyers. That's going to be a bit tricky here. But not impossible. Bit of bad luck there though. Again, he positions both. I mean, it seems like Luciano isn't aware of the counter barrel's ability in the howitzer and just keeps, you know, acting like it doesn't exist, meaning, you know, Unknown Legend actually ends up getting a lot of free kills thanks to it, because it never, you know, tries to play around it. That's actually a bit surprising, man. So it highlights how the counter barrel's ability can be useful, though again, you rarely see it like this. It's like the Russians don't even know we can hit back, Jürgen. Yeah, it's almost. There you go, another T-flip out there for Luciano. Tank destroyers sending out there. King Tiger half health. Unknown Legend's armored forces being increasingly extended to pick up the pace or slack for all the murdered infantry. Mines being laid down the court right in front of the Panther. So hits then the Panther. Out of bang in action here. Just firing again. However, in this case, having a bit of rubbish accuracy. $123 points left for Unknown Legend. 250 feet for Luciano. Maximus is focused on the center there, closing emergency 3. Mortar hitting the eastern victory point there. Even as Unknown Legend trying to regain the center, but he is suffering quite brutally for it. King Tiger trying to provide fire support there, but he's not quite able to pull through there fully. He should fire by halfway to eventually thin. Yeah, and obviously that'd be pretty good versus the King Tiger. Unknown Legend starting with a few focus grenadiers here and there. Mortals up close to the front line. And a focus still there, squat this and running. He's barely got any infantry, by the way. And there you go, all 3 victory points now in the control of Luciano and the 3rd Guards tank corps. Panther moving ahead here slowly. Straight into the tanks on the T-35. Their shots bouncing or penetrating. Bit of each, and the Panther falls back. King Tiger good to go. He's going to try another head-on assault. And again, it's like he's completely forgot about the western side there. It's just nothing over here apparently, or there's some kind of super legion of Russians which Luciano for some reason just refuses to attack with, but he's not going to attack into it. And I'm not entirely sure here, but it certainly seems a bit like tunnel vision by Unknown Legend. Air support there wipes the cannon effort. A bit of another loss there for Unknown Legend. Actually found the mortar over here. Almost got the hit mortar crew there. Can it finally finish it off? Nope. They can destroy a lot of things, but not that mortar crew. Unit 1 in the center. Panther, King Tiger moving ahead. He's straight to the double tank destroyers. Damaged engine on the Panther run from the double tank destroyers. Well, one of them can actually only shoot. There we go. Veteran free though. King Tiger then should be able to. There we go. King Tiger's actually on some serious. So he's rushing ahead of the light infantry gun to contest the center victory point. Shots firing at the King Tiger, taking out some of the light infantry gun crew actually. Oh dear, Panther explosion 3 armor to the tank destroyers, taking heavy hits there. The King Tiger's going to go down. It's going to go down. There we go, almost got it. Lightning's gun wiped as well. Huge loss here for Unknown Legend. And King Tiger down, leaving over the Panther now. The tank destroyers, the pack for the fish are going to keep them from going for it. 25 points, 21 points left here for Unknown Legend. He's quickly bleeding out. Fixing up the Panther as humanly fast as possible, almost stretching the free. And still ignoring this Western victory point. Another chief head over there for Luciano. But it certainly feels like, again, like Unknown Legend's just deciding on the defensive strategy that involves only these 2 victory points. And it's just not working out. It is just not working out. Almost got the pack 43 there. He's trying to silence it with his mortar. There we go. He got it. We got the howitzer firing back. Panther sneaking in. The tank is going for it. Got the engineers. They're repairing the T-55 again. It keeps forgetting about counter barrage. There we go. Almost got the Panther. Dimitri, how can this be? How can the Germans have the ability to keep shooting back at that artillery? It's not like the Germans have tactics for this. Comes they're getting burned up horribly. 12 points left. Pack 43 recruit once more. Comes they're dealing with the full grenadiers. Despite being low on health, they are more veteran. They got the submachine guns. There we go. Got the Eastern victory point back. Almost got the unit wiped. Another trot on the way for Unknown Legend who lost his spare planted quarters. Not entirely sure what he's intending to do with this. Or he can afford to try and go for it. That Panther edges ever closer to victory 3 because it keeps playing it to the defensive. It's never going to quite get there. Another strafing run out here from Luciano. And there you go, GG, game over. A loss for Unknown Legend, a loss for the 5th SS, a victory for Luciano and the 3rd Guards Tank Corps. A brutal slaughter here on Gleize. Initial good starting from both players, but the problem was as the game progressed, Unknown Legend went into very defensive, but also very tunnel vision. You know, focusing basically on this part of the map here, conceding a large amount of terrain here to his opponent. And just, going straight into defense and making it easy for Luciano to use bombardment submission with artillery, just wear him down again. The Oberkommand Vest is not very good for traditional fighting. You should try to stay on the defense as much as possible, use the fortifications part, just make it easy for him to defend, but you should not play the defensive immediately. And that's the problem there. He sunk so many resources into pack 43s and howitzers, he just sort of got slowly worn down, or he wasn't able to build up a sufficient force to counterattack with. Toss in again, he just completely ignored the west side of the map from a certain point on, and Unknown Legend just set himself up for defeat at a certain point. Luciano, though, played quite well, made full use of the docks next, I think, for the counter repair abilities. Could maybe use that. He could have flanked more. He could also try and focus on the pack for the free, then pushed forwards. There are some options there for Luciano, but overall, I say he's handled it well. They tried not to lose his men in sensitive engagements and just wore down his opponent, surely. I mean, his only big mistake was apparently he forgot about counter barrage and never apparently tried to play around it, costing him quite a bit. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to the friends, share it with everyone. If not, send a replay and find some feedback in the comments section. And if you'd like me to do consider donating or pledging on Patreon. This is Imperial Lane signing off. A big thanks to all those who already have pledged on Patreon. And see you all tomorrow for another signing episode. Bye.